Hey everyone, it's time for another Ravensburger puzzle hangout. Believe introductions are in order here. I am Nate, one of the beloved product managers of Ravensburger North America and fastest puzzler of 60-piece kids puzzles per our last speedrun. And then after that, I crashed and burned. Crash and burned real hard. Anyway, so joining me today is my esteemed guest, fellow Ravensburger, North America product manager and fashion guru, Eddy, my man, amazing to have you here.
Thanks for having me, Nate. This is my first puzzle hangout. I can't tell you how excited I am. And to everyone watching, good afternoon, good evening,
what's up,
wherever
everybody?
you're tuning in from.
This is going to be Eddy and I just going to show you all some puzzles from their humble origins to the final puzzles. We're just going to share what it's all about, like our thought process behind why we did what we did to make it the best puzzle possible. And we're going to be showing you just that before and after stage, this nice transformation with some help from Joe, who's behind the scenes. Joe, thank you very much, man. So we'll be sharing some kids puzzles, some adult puzzles, and we're just going to give you kind of a glimpse into, our thought process behind all this stuff. We're really excited because there's some really cool stories behind every puzzle we work on. And it's not just, you don't just snap your fingers and you get a puzzle. There's just a lot that goes into it thinking wise. And, how do we make this, like I said, the best puzzle experience possible?
Yeah, if only it was that easy, right, Nate?
I know.
Snap your fingers and
push a button, the puzzle maker button. I mean, we are, So before we start talking shop, we do want to let everyone know who's tuning in. There is a giveaway happening right now on the Ravensburger North America Twitter page. Make sure you like and retweet the giveaway post, and you will be entered to win a brand new 1,000-piece puzzle, Magical Potions. The item number is 16816 if you unfortunately don't win the puzzle, but dude, Eddy, this is a hot puzzle, right?
Dude, this one is unreal. I'm so jealous that Rachel got to work on this. So Rachel is our other product manager. Shouts to her. She slayed it on this one. This one has the perfect combination of everything. I've seen a few comments and posts on some of our groups that we have, and people are really digging this one. The sorting is awesome. There's just very great details, and whatever you're looking for, whatever potion, whether it's love, whether it's magic, whether it's youth, it's in there. So definitely check this one out, even if you don't win it.
It really checks off all the boxes on what makes a puzzle fun, interesting, those yummy colors, the nice storytelling behind it.
I need one for myself.
Slovakia Steph said, I've never been to a puzzle hangout before. Welcome. This is also Eddy's first puzzle hangout. We're really excited. This is just going to be just, like I said, talking shop. Yeah, the potions puzzle is awesome. Yeah, we got the virtual fist bump. All right.
Nice to have
Eddy,
you.
shall we get started?
Yeah, let's do it. I think everybody's ready.
Bondsinator's here. Hi, Bonds. All right, so the first one we are going to take a look at is a one that is near and dear to Eddy and my heart. This is going to be the Mandalorian challenge puzzle. So this one is, again, this, just so you guys understand the template, this is like the first stage of what we first thought of for this puzzle. So the idea behind it is, if you haven't watched The Mandalorian, you're missing out. This show is awesome. Whether you're a Star Wars fan or not, I mean, everybody's got to know Baby Yoda, Grogu, the child, all the names, all the above. So this is where this started. The goal of this is to make the most challenging puzzle possible for that ties into the series. And so right away, what you're going to see, just some of the details, obviously you have all of the characters and you try to arrange them in such a way that makes it as challenging and difficult as possible. And so, Joe, if you don't mind going to the next one to show. So this is the result, right? So just really trying to get as many characters as possible into the space of the puzzle, just making sure, again, that they're arranged in such a way that you get to have a challenging experience. So all the helmets are similar. You've got stormtroopers. So it's not really, you've got the sorting technique, but Eddie, we had to do a lot of rearranging of this stuff.
Oh yeah, this was, I mean, it was crazy. It was madness, but I mean, in the end, we were super satisfied with it. I think that it does hold true to that Ravensburger challenge aesthetic where,
Yep.
it's just mayhem everywhere, but there is
Yep.
some order to it. But yeah, we can't wait to be able to do this one. This one was,
I
like
know.
Nate said, near and dear to our heart. We had a little bit of some challenges, no pun intended, but we got through. And yeah, this one came out and looks awesome.
Yeah, I think it's really, like Eddie said, the challenge behind these is, you have a certain space to arrange these under, so it's really considering, how do I make this unique enough for Ravensburger, but also how do I make it challenging, And you're also limited by, you got to think about, there really aren't that as many characters as you might think in Mando, and it's a really interesting approach to this because, yeah, you got to make sure it feels right to Mando.
Absolutely. Yeah. That's part of the challenge that we have is trying to align with the story, making sure that it makes sense. We're not just repeating characters. Obviously, every stormtrooper is different, but we don't want to, crowd it by, adding in duplicate characters. So yeah,
Right.
this was
Right.
really squeezed in, but you have representation from episode 1 all the way, to season 2.
Yep, exactly. So we wanted it to have longevity, to be like not just the Mandalorian season 1 puzzle. We think that limits how long a puzzle can feel like it's relevant. So we wanted this to be, just like Eddie said, a general, this is the puzzle, the Mandalorian challenge puzzle, not just the Mandalorian challenge puzzle for a couple episodes. As more characters get introduced, and you just want to make sure that it has the core elements. And as Eddie had pointed out, you can't just duplicate the same character over and over again. There has to be some feeling of storytelling. And we actually do have a similar challenge puzzle that is Darth Vader with a bunch of stormtroopers. So we don't want to duplicate the same thing again. We want each of our puzzles to feel like, what's the next continuation of it, not just a carbon copy.
Yeah, and this one is a little tough to get your hands on. It's only available in Canada, but
Yep.
I'm sure you can, find somebody to get it for you if you know a Canadian friend.
Just send it over.
I mean, we all have Canadian friends, right?
Yeah, I mean, if you don't, you got to get on that. Everyone needs a Canadian friend.
Absolutely.
Postal Puzzle said, not much of a challenge though if it's just 1,000 piece. Hey, I want to see that speed run of the puzzle. Ivy's in Canada. Ivy, you got to get your hand on this one. This is a must-have for the Mando fans and for somebody who's into a challenge, for sure.
And we have a lot more coming for Mandalorian. We're really excited.
Oh, yeah.
This was just a brief look at what we started with, but there's a lot more coming that we're super excited about. And I know the show keeps going on and building on to the story. So yeah.
Yep. This is the way.
This is the way.
All right, we're going to switch gears on the next one. We're going to go from a galaxy far, far away to a field that might be a little bit more close. So what you're seeing here is from John Deere. As you can see, got to rep the brand. So this is a kids puzzle that started off with the idea of, we know for kids, we pull some ideas from like what's not just doing well with puzzles, but with like other toys. So we know for kids, a big thing is like trucks and their big wheels. We know monster trucks as a trend are kind of coming back from other properties. So we thought, is this an opportunity to work with John Deere to have something to bring that to life? And so the result was, we talked about having John Deere. This is John Deere big wheels. And so the idea, this is just really fun and exciting, I think not just for kids, but also for us to work on, because it's really cool to think about these kind of things like John Deere. You get to have fun with these properties. So that's why they're great partners when you can say, hey, can we do something like this? And go, yeah, we were hoping you would say that. Like, these are great ideas. So that's really exciting about something like this, is just a preview. And then Joe, if you wouldn't mind going to the next one. Thank you.
Boom.
Boom. It's so cool. Just super fun, super exciting. Again, we're checking off those boxes, vibrant colors, cool story. And Eddie, doesn't that driver look a little familiar?
I don't know. I know we
Hold
will
on.
get into that.
What? He looks, Eddie, did you? Maybe it's just me.
I had
There's
nothing to do
something
with
about that
this.
driver though that looks kind of familiar, doesn't he?
I don't know, but I think when you do get the puzzle, I think you might want to take a closer look and remember this face.
Yeah, yeah. Remember that face? That's the face of a winner if I ever saw one.
But yeah,
So
I mean,
what?
John Deere,
Go ahead, Eddie.
Has so much. Sorry, Nate, for talking over
Oh,
you, but
Eddie,
John Deere
please.
has so much history, so much heritage, and we were really challenged. Sorry, I keep using that word. But, every time we start a puzzle, we're like, what do we do with this?
Yep.
Because there's such a backlog of different products and iterations that this brand has had, and with the heritage that John Deere had. We were really focused on how do we change it? How do we bring it into a new light that hasn't been done before? How do we make it fun? So, this Big Wheels came out of this, and we're just, taking trends from, what's going on in just kids' entertainment, what they're playing with, what they like.
Yep.
And then we're looking at, sales and everything like that. So it really we get entrenched into all of the other details. And then, at the end of the day, we come out with this, and we're really excited about this one. That I think this one is going to be available midsummer.
Yep. Yep. Yeah. I don't think you're wrong, Eddie, was saying that each puzzle is a challenge, or we had challenges behind them, because there's so many ways you can go with these puzzles, and it doesn't matter if you're working with John Deere, Star Wars, or we're just doing our Ravensburger, what we call generic puzzles. You've got so many paths, but you do have guides like you had said, Eddie, the themes that you're seeing, the trends, and it's just making sure you're checking off those boxes, but also making sure, what's your first reaction to this? And I think from what Chad is saying, it's fun. It's a fun puzzle. It's eye catching, and it's different. It's not just a static tractor that's in a field. Kids can have fun with John Deere. Kids can be exposed to these properties like John Deere in different ways. And I think this is a great intro to that. Like, talk about a really cool puzzle. The style of it too, we talked about.
Yeah.
But we were working on this one to make sure it was fun. It has like this kind of sketch look to it. It's really freaking cool. We're really happy with this one.
Yeah, there's an easy way to do puzzles, and we just choose not to do that because when you're able to do something like this, all of the details matter.
Yep. We don't take any shortcuts with this, even with 100-piece, or if we're working on a floor puzzle, we're zooming in on details, making sure, all right, do we get this spot? How does this look? Is there enough detail in this piece? Because I've said this in past puzzle hangouts, it's important to have the same considerations for adult puzzles that you do kids puzzles, because just because you're a kid doesn't mean that you shouldn't have less of an experience because it's fewer pieces.
Yeah.
So, you want every experience to be good.
All right. I was going to say, even I remember with some of those crushed cars in the back, we were looking at it and we're like, these aren't crushed enough. Let's crush them more. And it's like, if a kid is doing this, you're like, why isn't this car crushed enough? Like, let's crush that thing down. Yeah.
Kids ask the same kind of questions. And if you like some reviews that you read, puzzling is a super up close experience. So for a kid too, they're going to look at this and ask the same questions we're thinking about. It's super important to make sure that if something seems off for us, chances are it's going to be off for the puzzler, because they're taking it apart, looking at them up close and putting them together. So it's just really important to, like I said, make sure that car's crushed. That car got crushed, smashed.
Yeah. This is a John Deere big wheel. Like some heaviness.
Big wheels. Yep. And coming into the next round, it's Eddie. All right. What do you think, Eddie? Next one?
Yeah, let's go to the next one. What we got next?
Eddie, you gotta take the wheel with this one.
Le Fils de Résistance.
Oh,
so
man.
This one, I kind of just took this from the ground. This was a Disney princess puzzle. We really wanted to show the princesses in a nouveau art style. So this was just the sketch. So when we took this, we ran with it. We worked with Disney hand in hand to create this really custom artwork, giving those princesses their own little individual scenes, all those little details, and just watch it come to life. So Joe, if you don't mind, let's showing everybody that finished product. Look at that. Damn. Unbelievable. Every princess here she shouldn't even be called princess. These are queens right here. I mean, Cinderella, Jasmine, Snow White. You can't go wrong. It's like, where do you even start this puzzle? So yeah, all of those like intricate details in there are going to be so fun to puzzle. They all have their sidekicks. You know, we have let's see, who do we have? We have Raj,
Pascal.
we have
Yep.
Pascal. Yeah, we can't go wrong. So yeah, and also one of my favorites. We're really excited about this. The packaging for this is a collector's item too. That beautiful
Yep.
black and gold Disney princess packaging. So definitely keep a lookout for this one. This one is one for your collection, one for your archives. Maybe get two, open one, keep the other one for, you know, your grandkids because they're gonna want to puzzle this.
Yeah. And this was one of the first things you had worked on when you had started at Ravensburger. Because Eddie, you haven't even been with us for a year. I just passed. I mean, I'm like, what am I now? A year and 3 months tomorrow? Yeah, I think
Feels like a
so.
decade.
I know. I mean, dude, we so even though Eddie started a little after I did, we both started on the licensing line together at like the same time. So Eddie and I have been with this from start to finish. So we're working through these. We're talking about what do you think about this detail or what do you think about this? And you know, obviously, like Eddie said, we're working with Disney to make sure we capture the princesses right. We want to make sure that they are capturing all their elegance, beauty, just the rich vibrance of color, that their their clothing is accurate. You know, they have the same lens that we do with our puzzles. It's just super important to make sure that it feels true, like it's a true Disney product. And like Eddie said, the packaging is really great on it. It's just very clean, very contemporary. This was a cool one. It was cool to see also because there were updates on Disney's side of like, you know, this is how these characters look now, and like just like updated from like a fashion point of view. And so to even see that transformation too. So
Mhm.
it's really cool to see those kind of changes and then to implement them, because again, it's kind of like it's like the Mando one. We want these puzzles to really feel like they can last forever. Like they're relevant forever. You know, and there is something to say about vintage puzzles and just like the vintage look, nostalgia. But I think this hits on both of those check marks. It's nostalgic because of the princesses, but it's also timeless because of how they're captured in this. I mean,
Absolutely. That's
Eddie,
why I
you
said you
nailed
get
it.
it for your grandkids. I mean, you could be
I know you
20
don't
years
throw away a
old.
Ravensburger puzzle.
Yeah,
No,
you
you
could give it
don't.
to your grandkids, you know, in 40
Yeah, and then give
years.
it to their
Cool.
grandkids.
Exactly. It gets passed down. That's why you don't see Ravensburger puzzles at like consignment shops, yard sales, because they
No,
last.
you keep them. It would be
That's
you'd be
right.
doing the yeah, and then plus Eddie and I would be really upset if we saw one of these puzzles at a
I'd be
Savers or
kind of,
something
yeah,
like that. Now that
I'd be pretty
everybody
sad.
watching knows that it's we're putting our heart and soul into these, don't break our hearts by throwing away these puzzles, please,
Yeah.
please.
If you're gonna throw it out, just send us an email or
Yeah, let
reach
us know
out.
why,
We'll
and then
take
we'll
it
try.
back.
Yeah, we'll take it back.
Yeah.
No, you
Customer
do not need a
satisfaction.
friend in Canada for this one. This one is also
Yeah.
available in the US.
Yes. And Nate, I know what's next. And I know you're excited. So
Dude.
I'm gonna do the honors. And this one, I know Nate gets amped about this because Nate loves this puzzle, I think,
This
more
one
than
is also
anything
near and dear
else.
to my heart. Yep.
Yeah. So and he crushed it with this one. He's really
Oh,
focused.
dude.
Same thing on those social trends, what kids are into, and tell them more
Oh
about it,
man.
Nate.
So this is we kind of did something different with this one because this is when I first started also. This was actually my sketch that I had provided to the artist. So we really find briefing artists helps a lot in providing a strong direction, because it's not like we go to an agent and say make me a dinosaur puzzle. That's not what we're doing. We want to make sure we're giving them the right direction, because you know, it's like we said, we don't just press a button and make a puzzle. It's kind of like people don't press a button and make artwork, especially for puzzles. Puzzles follow their own rules when it comes to detail, to color, because yeah, you got to think about it if they're in tiny pieces. So like with depth, you don't want to have like depth of field in the back where stuff is blurry behind you, because then you got to think, well, from a puzzle side, I'm just puzzling blurry pieces. So we thought it'd be interesting to show like this is what we sometimes send an artist. We just send them, here's what we are thinking. What do you think? And so, Joe, if you don't mind going to the next one, and this is what we get as a first sketch. What's funny about this one is the guy we worked on with this, just super smart, in addition to being incredibly talented. So this is the first color rough that we got. you'll notice one big thing that he changed is the dynamic between the dinosaurs, because I drew the T-Rex roaring at the Triceratops, and he said, Nate, I think they should be working together like they're on a team. And I said, that's a great idea. So we got to be receptive to their feedback too, right? Because I don't want, they're the artist. Like, we have an idea of, the criteria of, okay, make sure we have nice vibrant colors, nice little detail everywhere. But it's also really cool to get the feedback from them to say something like that. And I think the result ended up really great. So one thing I want to note, so like I said, the artist, very intelligent, does his research, put feathers on the T-Rex. And we said, do we need the feathers on there? He said, well, it's accurate, actually. And, doing a little digging myself, not that I didn't believe him. We said, hey, you know what? We totally understand, for accuracy's sake, it does make sense, but we are dinosaurs in space right now. This one, Space Dinosaurs, is the title for this one. But we said we should just remove the feathers. So we did. And Joe, if you don't mind going to the next one for us, please. This is the result. I mean, just, it's so cool. It's so cool.
Who doesn't want to puzzle this? Like, I'm not even 10 years old and I want to puzzle this.
So this is a 200-piece one. And it's just so cool to see the 3 stages like that, because I think you sometimes have to trust the artist that you're working with, right? Because I think from that sketch, somebody might say, is this really going to be that good? But we also look at artists' websites to understand, okay, what level of detail do they get to? And sometimes, especially for new artists, we need to train them a little bit. We need to just talk to them and say, hey, just so you know, when you think about it from puzzling side, puzzlers aren't going to like this detail, or like this doesn't really make sense for that part. So even just talking to the artist and say, hey, make sure, can we just add a couple more planets here? Or even just weird tangents where like stuff lines up behind a character odd, or making sure characters aren't cropped because we don't want it to feel like it's just cut off at a weird spot. These are like little details that I think we just have to be patient and understanding and working with the artists that we're talking to, because it is a back and forth. Sometimes it is a back and forth, right? You sometimes have to go through 5 to 6 iterations of it, but at the end of it, it's worth it.
Yeah.
Those planet eaters or meteor eaters. That's funny.
You kind of have to take some of the artists to like puzzle school, because I mean, even when I first started working in puzzles, it just took me a little bit to understand how, it's such a minuscule amount of detail that you're looking at. And you really want to make sure that you're resonating with that puzzle piece, because if you pick it up and you're like, I don't even know where this goes, a kid is going to lose interest. But with this, it's like, it's action everywhere. You have the meteors in the back, you have the planets, you have, the front and center dinosaurs. It's like, dude, it's just a perfect combination. So Nate.
Oh, thank you, Eddie. I'm really glad that I was reading chat, because I didn't realize I got blipped. It looked like I got blipped from Infinity War for a second there. So thank you, everybody, for making notes and letting me know that I was just fuzz.
He went into a black hole.
I
was worried.
Margaret just bought the Snow White one. Back. Awesome. Yeah, this one was a labor of love for sure. It was one of the first ones I worked on, but it's just so worth it to see the detail on it, even just the design of the. Yeah, I stopped by outer space just to see the uniforms, even the detail on those. They have names on them. Just so much cool little moments. Like when you pulled up the piece, you go, "Oh, cool!" You got to think about. I've said this in other hangouts too. Each puzzle piece, you want it to look nice. You not just from like Eddie said, like where does this go, but also like, oh, nice. It's like a little piece of artwork.
Absolutely, it is. It's fine art.
Yeah, it really is.
Cool. Right. What do we got next? We are talking about
this one's going to be a little bit of a different one.
Yeah. Yep. This is a nice collector's piece. So Disney also allowed us to kind of dive into their archive, their vault, and out came the Treasures of the Vault collection, it's a series of 12 puzzles that's spanning out all year long. We're doing a release every month of different puzzles from that vault. So Nate, do you want to talk about this one? About Lady?
Dude, I thought you were going to talk about this, Eddie. This is you.
I didn't want to take the spotlight.
Eddie, I just had the spotlight for space dinosaurs. It's all you, man. This is a shared spotlight.
Yeah, so I mean, if everybody knows, Lady is Walt Disney's first lady, very near and dear to his heart. So we really started this collection out with a bang. It is quite a difficult puzzle, but we're thinking from the eyes of the collector, from the consumer that wants to preserve these. It has, that specialty packaging, treasures from the vault. They are also accompanied by, well, not accompanied, but they are going to be released along with a plush figure. So each month, Disney will also release a plush figure. So right now we're in March. I think we're on Pinocchio, and then April is it? What is
Quizzing
in
you,
April?
man.
Oh man,
you gotta be careful about this one. Yeah,
it's Bambi. Bambi. Yeah. So right now, yeah. So we started with Lady, and then February was Minnie and Mickey Sweethearts. March was Pinocchio, and I shouldn't have said April, but hey, it's okay. It's a live stream.
It was an accident. I don't think that caught on the stream anyway.
I think I disappeared like you did, turned to fuzz.
That's what we'll say happened.
But yeah, even with something like picking images from the vault, it's a little tricky because you also have to look at it from a puzzle lens. It's like, do we do a collage? We can't really do anything custom. And the way that the process is we can't touch a lot of these assets because, they're as is, they're from the vault. These are like scans from the OG back in the 50s or the 70s, doesn't even matter. So yeah, this one's awesome. I'd be hard pressed to finish this in one night, but if I don't know who it was that said that the Mando challenge wasn't really a challenge, well, this one is. So I wanted to.
I know. I think this is something where when you're choosing existing imagery, I think the big thing we looked for with a lot of these is what's that heart-touching moment? What's that moment that you remember from the movie that also ties into what we're trying to accomplish here? So this is some artwork that hasn't been seen before. It definitely hasn't been used for puzzles before. And so I think that's the combination we had to think about with some of these. So it's a tough call. Sometimes because also you got to think what scenes have been done before. So like the dinner scene, we don't. Iconic. That's timeless, and it's been done time and time again. And we like to think that our variation of that is the best one. A little bias in that. Very biased in that, but I will stand by that statement.
Right.
So we had to look at this stuff and say, okay, what are the heartstring moments? What are the moments that really capture, like Eddie's saying, the collectability, and also, a puzzle that has that pull on your heartstrings moment. I think this was the one, like the moment with Lady and the Tramp looking at each other like that, with like those nice little moments around them. It's nice.
It's that special moment. Yep. Yeah, these are available. We've been doing pre-sales since January on Amazon, and I think they will be shipping starting in April.
Yes. So get them while you can, because I mean they're gonna get scooped up. It is inevitable. I know I've made 2 Avengers references when we were talking about Disney puzzles in one puzzle hangout, but like Thanos, the sellout is inevitable. So I highly, highly, highly recommend check it out. Try to get on that pre-order game on Amazon for these. Yeah. These are also a labor of love on the Ravensburger side of just making sure when you have a moment like this, we did not hesitate to make sure that we chose the best of these and really have a nice collection of these puzzles.
We were thinking about all the puzzlers. Every puzzle that we look at, we're thinking about the puzzlers out there. What is the puzzler going to think, if they're looking at this like, oh, this is crap, I don't want to do this. Yeah. We never want to hear that. So we always have you, on top of mind, making sure that everything that we put out is, something that is, plentiful in quality, plentiful in colors. Obviously, this is not a great example, but this stands on its own in terms of classic and
Right.
just time.
Right. And then again, I think it's the thing is we have to always consider like what are the other variables. And for this one, working with Disney really closely, and it's like this is precious archived work. So treating it with the respect of understanding there are some things that we can and can't do with it. So we said that's totally fine. We understand that. It's all about the collectability, and it's just I think
That's
the
right.
result is still a just nice collection because you have to look at it holistically too. You think
Right.
about from start to finish what that looks like.
Yeah, I think what a lot of fans were doing is they were waiting to see, month after month, what's
Yep.
coming, what's coming. Do I get this one in the pre-sale or do I wait for April, May, June?
Right.
Because
Right.
there's so many more that are coming that we're super excited about. I won't give any more spoilers. I don't want to lose my job.
Eddie, please. We are too valuable, especially after we're talking about all this good stuff.
Yeah, that's right. Who else would be doing a live stream at 7 p.m.?
I wish Rachel we could have Rachel in. We'll get Rachel next time. We
Yes,
we
you
would
guys would
love to
love
talk.
Rachel.
We would love to talk shop just about all of the fun stuff that we've done. This is just a small snippet. I mean, man, what did we developed how many last year, Eddie? Like 200 something new puzzles last year?
Yeah, yeah.
And yeah, all ranging from again just a small sample of these from licensed stuff to generic stuff, kids, adult. We do it
Yeah.
all, and that was
Eh,
all under our belt with less than a year. I mean, you really
yeah,
go
yeah.
into it, and we ran with it.
We have to. We have to. But I mean, speaking on Rachel, she has such a great eye for everything fashion, just colors. She has, such great taste, and she really, resonates that into her puzzles. Like we talked about, the giveaway that we're doing for magical potions. Like all of her puzzles are like top tier. She's every time she shows us something, she's like, "This isn't really right." I mean, my impression of her is not that great.
That's your
So
Rachel? Eddie, there's a
no,
we should have maybe we should have rehearsed the Rachel impression
I
before
know.
we
I hope
started
she's
this.
not watching. I'm so
I think
embarrassed.
she is watching.
Sorry, Rachel.
That's a
But yeah,
great segment.
she's
Go
she
ahead,
loves
Eddie.
she loves those details, the way that she communicates with artists, the way that she briefs the job. She really goes in and has those very granular details. I can't say enough about her because she's an artist herself. Just mind, body, and soul. She's very
Yeah,
impressive. So yeah, and that leads us to the next one, right?
that's a great segue, Eddie. We
Yeah.
didn't even put that in the script.
No, what
We
script
didn't
are you
even
talking
have a
about?
script when you think about it. So this is one that was inspired by several things. It's this combination of whimsy. It's this combination of an ode to MC Escher. It is about animals. So we're talking about, and I did this with space dinosaurs. We're thinking about combining multiple themes. What's that next level of this moment that the next level of the themes that we know are successful. So you could see like a trend of origami, right? And you might say, okay, so let's just take some origami animals and place them on a canvas, put them onto a puzzle. Well, Rachel took that to the next level, excuse me, and said, what do you, how do we add that extra twist of whimsy? We're not bound by any real like requirements for our own puzzles when we do something like this. So Rachel said, let's bring them to life. Let's have this story behind them where they're actually coming out of the paper and they're interacting with the other paper patterns, and that changes the look of them. So there's just a really cool story behind this one. There's also a nice compositionally some motion that goes through them where you're led around. So that's where we have rules that we follow with just general composition. Then there's again the rules that we're breaking. So everything here needs to be in focus because you don't want to have any blurry pieces. And I think the big thing that Rachel wanted to have with this one is the color. And again, just while you're puzzling this, not only is it a nice puzzling experience, but you also can, while you're referencing the box while you're puzzling, to say like, "Oh, that's so fun," or like just getting to see those up close details is really what's important. And Joe, if you would not mind. Wow. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
Sheesh. Like
It's me every time.
yep.
Yeah.
It's so good. So you've
And the
got
thing
those
about
different
this too, there.
patterns. Go ahead, Eddie.
Sorry, Nate, I
Eddie,
interrupted you.
please go ahead.
No, I was gonna say there's so many like different pockets of adventure, whether it be just the animals when they're changing or just the monkeys having fun, tossing up that paper ball. It's like
Yep.
all these like behaviors and just having fun, and then the small details, in the corners. Yeah, sorry, Nate.
No, it's all
I got
good.
excited. I get excited for Rachel's stuff, as you
I'm
can
telling you,
see.
we cannot hype up Rachel enough. Like between Magical Potions, this, some of the other ones she's worked on, really just taking it to the next level. That's really what we're trying to do with this, because I don't think you realize, and I didn't realize this until starting at Ravensburger, the puzzle experience is really so up close and personal, and to be able to ensure that there's a lot of attention to detail with this stuff. So even the portrait, the picture frame, you can see there's a monkey who's like peering out, and you can look to see one of the, oh man, Rachel, don't call me out on this. One of the, they're not tigers, Eddie, are they? I don't remember.
They're supposed to be leopards, I believe,
Leopards.
but they have the plaid
Yep.
leopards.
Leopards. The leopard being like caught behind you, is like looking behind, like, oh, just like
Yep.
nice moments like that.
Yeah.
And then even working with the artists, who great guys, like great team, love working with them. Like just making sure, hey, add a little detail to this, like the glue stick. There's sometimes stuff we don't have to micromanage with the artists we work with, which is amazing for a lot of these.
Yeah.
They have
Yeah.
the direction, and once you kind of work with them more and more, they start to pick up on stuff like, oh, hey, I thought about adding this, or hey, I changed this color here. And we're just like, sometimes Eddie and I will open up an email that says like, hey, just sent you the color version of this, and we just go, dude, yes. And that actually happened today.
Yeah, so I'd say it's great working with such, talented artists that, are able to really encapsulate the Ravensburger brand. They know
Yep.
what Ravensburger means, and that goes into their work. So yeah, it's nothing like getting something new and you're just looking at it and like, wow, every time. It's like sometimes you're just at a loss for words. So, and this was, nothing short of that. Origami Adventure, a masterpiece.
Yep. And this one is a 1,500 piece puzzle. So you're going to have a longer puzzle experience with this. And Rachel actually said she and her family puzzled it, and it's not an easy puzzle. And I think that we try to have the nice line of it's challenging, but it's also a satisfying puzzle experience. And that can be really tough.
Right.
It can be really tough because I think sometimes you want to, I think it's like any artwork or any project. You work on something for so long, you say, all right, I need to wrap up with this. But you still have to zoom in. We still zoom in and we go, let's look at it one more time. Let's zoom in, and we like really zoom in like 200-300%, try to make sure, are there any weird details? Because it's gonna show up on the print. It's gonna show up on the print, and we don't want that experience to happen with puzzling. So again, you're looking at those up close and personal. You're looking to see like, is this piece for that part of near the edge or the other one? So we can't take any shortcuts with this, and that's like the high point of the job, is to really look at the artwork and say, boot it up, open it up into Photoshop, zoom in and say, all right, what are we working with? And then if we see something, we might draw it, we might just circle it. We're trying to just make sure we do it right the first time.
1,000%. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't even matter if like the production team is like banging down our door, like, we need the puzzle files. Like, you don't understand. This is at 99% done. We need
I know,
to,
we got to get to the 100%. So. Yeah, if you miss the 1%, I think that it messes with the puzzle experience.
Yeah, exactly. So it's worth it.
It's worth it for the puzzlers. We'll take the heat.
Yeah,
and we're a little late on stuff. We do our best, and it's all worth it. It's all worth it to make awesome puzzles. And
hey,
not to speak for Rachel, I think Rachel's more on time than we are, Eddie.
Well, Rachel has a lot of like liberties. Like her stuff is generic, right? So she's working directly with the artist. So she's not like us where we're working with a Disney or a Lucasfilm. So that adds another layer of, hey, we have to go through the proper
There's a layer of
processes
collaboration to it. Yep. Which definitely, it has its pros, but it also, everybody's their own business. So it's interesting to have that dynamic balance. But so Eddie and I work on the license side. I also work on the kids generic side, and sometimes it's really tough to. I can't say I have a preference on which one I like working on more because it is so cool to work with these partners. Like they're awesome, awesome people.
Right.
They have awesome ideas, and it's just cool to be able to bring that in a different way because puzzles you do get to create different worlds, different stories, and I think that's what's also really exciting about it. It's not just taking existing stuff and saying, all right, I got these characters, put them on there and call it a day. We're
Right.
really trying to think, and dude, Eddie, I wish we could show some of the stuff that we're working on, but well,
Oh,
I don't want to.
in time,
In
Nate. Don't
time,
worry.
maybe
You
there'll be
guys
another
just
puzzle
wait.
hangout where we're back
Yeah.
and oh man, let's maybe
Yeah.
maybe we should just say something like this of if you're a villainous fan, just you wait.
Ooh, yeah.
Just you all
Yeah.
wait.
Just
if you
wait.
if you
Just
haven't
wait.
gotten in tune to the villainous game, definitely do that. But the puzzles, I gotta shout out the games team. But the puzzles, Eddie and I are cooking up stuff. We're
You
really
don't even
cooking up
know.
stuff. So please
Yeah.
get get ready because we're
Yeah.
we're,
It
we're
also it
ready.
it also helps that we're such big fans of all of the brands that we work with, so we really want to make sure, like, if it's something that we would puzzle, Nate is probably the biggest Star Wars fan I know, so when we're working on Star Wars stuff, it's like to a T, right on the money to the story he knows. So anything that we're working for with Marvel, whether it's anything villainous, or even with like a Warner Brothers, these are all things that we grew up with, we grew to love, and we would make sure we put that love right into that puzzle.
Yep, because we know
Like,
fans would think the same way.
right.
We're
Yeah.
fans too, and I think it's cool that we have that added lens to it. So we're not just fans of it, but we're also puzzle fans. And I admit I was not necessarily much of a puzzler as I grew up. I was when I was younger, but then stopped puzzling, and then now I'm back into it. I really like it. And so to be able to combine the two, it's an interesting challenge to think about. How do you make what makes a great Star Wars puzzle? What makes a great Disney puzzle?
Yep.
And yeah, you're working with these properties that are near and dear to people, so you got to treat it right. Got to treat it right.
Yeah, and I think the average person, kind of has that stereotype of, puzzling is just for rainy days, or when the lights go out, or when you have nothing else to do, or when you're stuck at home due to a pandemic. But honestly, puzzling, it's such a fun thing when you're doing it with friends, and you're able to, exchange banter back and forth, different stories, and you're just, everybody's working on a different part of the puzzle, and you're having drinks or whatever it may be, 21 plus only. But it's super fun when you're able to just exchange different moments of your life, or just jokes and stories. Yeah, I can say that I'm now a puzzler. I love it.
Yep. It is definitely something that's really cool to get into and to try out all the pieces. I think is important for us to. I know I have the speed puzzling definitely help with that too, to see what's the difference between the 100 and the 200, the 300, because it's the same dimensions. A 100 and 200 and
Mhm.
300 are the same dimensions, but they're different pieces, different size pieces, because obviously you're having 100, 200, 300. How many times can I say 100, 200, 300 in a sentence, Eddie? 100, 200, 300, 100. Anyway,
Dude,
but
you could be a
it's those
rapper.
kind of things. It's such a hands-on experience that if we don't do that, then I think it's kind of like what Eddie's saying about the working with the Disneys and the Marvels and the Warner Brothers. You're doing a disservice to fans on both sides,
And
puzzlers and yeah, like even with the Mando one, you gotta get the stuff right. The fans are just like puzzlers. Combine how particular some fans are with how particular some
yeah,
puzzlers are, and you gotta get it right. And we want to
yeah,
make sure we get this right.
even
And so that's even
IG-11. Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, we gotta make sure they're all the like great example. We gotta make sure they're all the characters are like the proper orientation. You can't flip asymmetrical characters. You have to make sure they're all the right height. These are really important things that I think even fans would notice too. I mean, it's not just with puzzles, but you definitely notice with puzzles because you're getting up close and personal with it. So we just really want to make sure we get it right. And I think we're off to a good start, Eddie.
Oh, we're off to a
And
great
we're
start.
just getting started.
Yes.
Hey!
Oh, the heat
There
is
it is.
coming. The heat is coming. Even more heat.
Even more heat.
Yeah. So I think that was origami was the last one.
Origami was the last one. So I
Oh,
think now, I mean, we can open up to chat. Does anybody have any questions? I mean, we can just read chat for a little bit. So we'll see what we got.
yeah.
Your pieces are so different. That's what Margaret says. Your pieces are so different from any other brand I've done. So high quality. I think that's a big thing that we noticed too, because obviously we're going to be looking at what competitors are doing. And even not even looking at the art set, you can feel the difference. And again, I'm not drinking any Kool-Aid here. I'm not getting paid extra to say that. I really genuinely feel the difference when it comes to a Ravensburger puzzle. The quality, it's like it's just got a nice thickness to it. It's crazy. You know what? My favorite piece count that I found too is 750 large format. That's like prime piece count. So I highly recommend people try out a large format puzzle. I think those are just, it's a nice, smooth puzzling experience.
Let's see, somebody asked, how about rock bands?
We actually do
We
have
would,
some. We have some Beatles puzzles, Eddie, don't we?
I wanted you to do that.
Eddie, you set me up for it, man. We got some of the Beatles. We got some album artwork, and we've got some. We've got an anthology wall. We've got it all.
Yeah. In my
You know, when
dreams,
it
let
comes
us
to
know
Robinson.
what let us know what rock bands you think would work. You know, we're always open to different suggestions.
Yep.
You know,
We
we
read
love
reviews.
yeah, of
We read
course. We're
reviews on Amazon to see like what are people saying, what is going on with like, is it something about the artwork? Is it about the style of it? We read them. We really do. We check. We want to make sure.
all right. See, Angie Correa, saludos desde Bogotá, Colombia. Buenas noches. Nice to have you. Bienvenido. Who else? Let's see. Oh, somebody asked about landscape puzzles. Oh, we got a lot of landscape puzzles. Don't worry.
Rachel is on it. Rachel's got plans, and so that
Yeah.
we're in the process of reviewing to see where are the gaps in our puzzles right now. So like, is there an opportunity to add more in like a certain theme? So I know last year when I started, we really wanted to make sure we filled up stuff like space, because we know space is doing really well. Space is just, I mean, that's another thing too. Some of the puzzles that we do are for kids, education based, but again, also with space dinosaurs, we have a like the whimsy feel to them. Yeah, Eddie, what do you got right now?
So somebody asked, can you see the peek? I want to see a peek at the puzzles behind Eddie. So we have the collector's edition Aladdin. Just awesome. I did that one a few weeks ago with a few friends. Super fun. We got, some of the Star Wars. We have Jafar.
Nice.
Villainous.
I've got Maleficent right here, helping to prop up one War Machine helmet.
Yeah, so I mean, we got a few good ones. We got more Star Wars ones. So yeah, our Star Wars line is pretty awesome. We have some good stuff in there. Let's see, we have if you like challenge, we have escape puzzles.
In My Dream says Rolling Stones and Metallica.
Oh yeah, by the lightning. Nice.
These are always things we consider too, where we look to see like other opportunities. Do we want to try to seek out different partnerships with other properties? Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's all part of the process. So if we see that there's a big demand for it, then absolutely we try to go for it. I think the thing that we have seen also is sometimes, and it's tough for us to have this conversation with the puzzle team, is sometimes some stuff just doesn't work for puzzles, even though it's like, oh man, I really love this. Like you would think some video game properties, it's like you see something that's really big right now, but you think, but is this really the puzzler demographic? Just because they love gaming it, does that mean that they want to puzzle it? So it is interesting to think about that. Margaret, is getting the escape one. The escape puzzles are really interesting. It is definitely a different mindset, but it is cool that we are developing this gamification of puzzles, like that added layer to puzzling. I have to say the escape puzzles, I'm not an escape room person in the sense that I can't wrap my head around it. It's tough. You really have to like click things in your brain to figure that stuff out.
We just need to do a Star Wars escape puzzle. You'd get out of that
Maybe one day. Maybe
Margaret
one day.
also said, like she also said, you guys have what I consider to be my dream job. Yeah. This is an awesome job. We love it every day. You know, we're able to come to work and work on these awesome things. So despite the fire drills and any headaches that we get, it's just, you know, it's awesome to be able to look at, you know, what we've created at the end of the day. So yeah, thank you, Margaret. We're very fortunate.
Yes. There are definitely the days where I have definitely said to Eddy, Eddy, this does not feel like a job right now. Like this is great. This is the good stuff because especially on the license side, getting to work with the properties like Eddy had said you grow up with, you love, and being able to bring that to the Ravensburger audience and just, you know, any puzzlers who don't know about Ravensburger to show them like, hey, check this out. You like Warner Brothers? We got the puzzles for you. So I think that's really what's super rewarding about it, to be able to bring something like that to people.
Yeah. Cool. Well, I don't know. What do you think, Nate? Do we have any more questions?
In my dream says my friend wants to buy me the wants me to buy the Metallica one. I know it's not Ravensburger. You know what? We'll look the other way.
It's okay.
If you want to pick it up. Sometimes there are the needs that, and it hurts me to say this, but sometimes there are the puzzling needs that Ravensburger cannot satisfy. But we try.
Yeah. But we will one day. Like we said, we have a lot of great things coming. I feel like we were just looking at our whole licensed line, and it's just like the list
let me make
is
sure
long.
I got Bondsinator. Oh, sorry, Eddy. Where's Bonds? Looking for Bonds. Bonds. Oh, you know what? I was in the wrong window. Bondsinator. Bonds, I don't see your question. I must not have scrolled enough. Beaches are a great theme too.
Oh, speaking
Take
of
it
beaches,
back, Nate.
Speaking of beaches, Rachel is she has, so I don't know if everyone has heard of Cozy Retreat, but she is also working on Cozy Cabana, which is an awesome, delightful, beautiful scene that takes place on the beach right at sunset. You know, can't go wrong. So yeah, definitely take a look. Take a look for that one. Cozy
look
Cabana,
on Amazon.
Part of our Cozy series.
Thank you, Betty, for helping me out. Yeah, Bonds. The thing that's going to be tricky is because puzzles are in such high demand. I recommend checking Amazon as the main point for Art Nouveau Princess. And so, if anybody wants to try to find it, I highly recommend searching to Google search Ravensburger and then 16504. That usually will pull up the Amazon link when you search that in Google. So that's what I recommend, so you can see it on Amazon. I believe it should be up by now. We did some pre-sale stuff with Amazon, but at the very least, you can check there. That's what I would recommend. Angie loves circle puzzles. Circle puzzles, you know what? I don't want to spoil anything, but Eddy, I think the global team hypothetically may be working on something.
I think so. I don't want to give away too much, but
I don't want to give away too much either. But hypothetically, we may have something in store with the global team, and I think that's another thing that's really cool too. We work globally. We're working with our UK team, our French team, Italian team, German team. This is a global business. It's a global company, and it's, I'm brushing up on my German, my French. It's all very not good, but I'm still brushing up on it. Unlike Eddy, fluent Eddy over here.
No.
Yep, in my dreams, I also check Barnes and Noble.
Yeah, no, we have a great team too. Shout out to the whole international team. Everybody that works on the product development team all has their special abilities to just turn puzzles into magic. So yeah, this is not just us. It's part of a, bigger picture. We're just, North America. Some of our puzzles make it over to Europe and the rest of the world, just like some of the German team and the Italian team makes puzzles that we take into. So yeah, Ravensburger, we're global. We're making sure that, we make that footprint outside of Germany, because, everybody knows Ravensburger in Germany, 98% brand awareness, but outside we're still, getting into this North American market. So appreciate everybody that, came out and tuned in to the live stream. We know that, our fans are number one. We want to make sure that we keep satisfying, the puzzle needs that you all have. We don't go a day without thinking about you guys, making sure that, hey, any, bad review that we see, we're addressing it, today, in our development. So.
Yep. All right. I think with that, folks, thank you. Like Eddy said, thanks everyone for tuning in. Big shout out to Mark, our marketing manager, for helping with this, and PJ. Also, Joe, thank you again, man, for making a seamless transition. I mean, production quality through the roof, and for making Eddy and I look good, extra good. It's
hard to do, but he did it somehow, some way.
Somehow,
and then he brought
some
Nate
way.
Back from space. Nate
I know. I got brought back. He unblipped me. Joe he assembled the Infinity Stones and brought me back.
You did it.
So just want to remind everybody, there's the giveaway happening on the Ravensburger North America Twitter page. Like and retweet, and you'll be entered to win magical potions. Please, please, please try to get your hands on this puzzle one way or another. Yes. I mean, I think it's like a #1 bestseller on Amazon for puzzles. This is game changing. Again, shout out to Rachel. The completion to the product management trio of Ravensburger North America. Yep. So one other thing, be sure to tune in for the next puzzle hangout in May. It will be a speed puzzling competition, bracket style, where we will be puzzling throughout the remainder of the year for the ultimate speed puzzling champion. It will not be me. I cave under pressure with speed puzzling. 60 piece after that, I was gone, but I will still hold the title. Fastest 60-piece puzzler in the context of this puzzle hangout.
Awesome. Thank you, everybody. And it's great to meet you all. Thank you for, chatting, sending in questions. I saw everyone's comments. Sorry if I didn't get a chance to shout you out, but thank you all.
Thank you, everybody. Happy puzzling, and thanks for loving Ravensburger.
All right. Good night.